So what are we talking about today? The sheriff of Nottingham? Huh? What do you think?
I think it's amazing that Dayton Daily News only took a week to figure out the questionable practices of, oh yeah, these people are doing an appraisal every hour and a half?
Well, they just drive by. They never get out. The bank pretty much sets the price because they're not going to go 2/3 of the mortgage. How easy is that?
You know, I'm just confused here. You explain this to me. I have a contract with the bank. I don't fulfill it. Number one, why is the sheriff involved?
Because he used to throw people off the land.
Oh!
Because they didn't know back in the day, you used to carry your stuff and there used to be crying and weeping and whatever, you know, and you had to drag them off.
Okay, so shouldn't they pay him to do that job for them?
Well, it seems like he should get some remuneration, but
yeah.
Doesn't he? I don't know exactly.
I don't know about that part, but then here, let's go to the next part. Why is he holding the auction and why is he setting the price? The bank is owed X dollars. The bank owns the property. Why doesn't the bank just auction it off or sell it or take responsibility for it? Why are we involving the sheriff at all?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the sheriff is the one that executes the whole thing because, you know, he's a agent of the state, I guess. I need to really study up on it.
Well,
my contention is, even though you have a contention that the appraisals, I think the appraisals are totally terrible anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it seems to me they're never below the price of the mortgage. Is that against the law? You're saying, I hear what you say.
I think the price of the mortgage is irrelevant. It's how much they owe that's left. You know, if they owe $50,000 on the $100,000 house and they appraise it at $100,000 and set the price at $75,000, okay, so why is the bank saying, oh, we got a $75,000 house and just sell it? Why is it going through this auction process?
Well, I don't know.
I don't get this.
And I don't think it really goes to the auction process. I think you have time, like the people inside the house, let them go up for foreclosure and then can declare bankruptcy. There's a certain advantageous way to go about it, my understanding.
I think the whole policy stinks. I mean, why isn't it done like the repo of a car? You buy a car, the bank wants the money, they take the car back. Simple as that.
And they hire somebody to do it.
They hire somebody to do it. And they don't need to hire the sheriff to do this, and he shouldn't be involved in setting prices.
But he does it with such eloquence. He's a fine, upstanding Catholic, obviously.
I'm not so sure I trust him to add up 2 + 2 right now.
The sheriff of Nottingham?
Of Nothingham.
I'm telling you what.
Yeah, hire all your buddies, pay them exorbitant amounts. The clerk of court says, oh yeah, we just do what he says. And then they raise the price. I mean, there's so many things wrong here in that entire county building.
Who's the clerk of courts?
Clerk of courts used to be Dan Foley and is now Greg Brush, who hires his own father-in-law.
Well, wait a second. Did he hire his own father-in-law?
He hired his own father-in-law.
How do you know?
Because people tell me.
They keep saying that.
Yeah.
But did we talk to Greg?
Yes, it is his father-in-law. That part.
It may be his father-in-law, but was he already working for the clerk of courts?
No, he hired him.
He didn't inherit him?
No, he didn't inherit him. Like,
isn't that what you're allowed to do, though? When you get elected, you're allowed to get some sort of...
I'm kind of clueless about this whole patronage thing.
Patronage, yes.
Yes.
Didn't Obama hand out plenty of freaking jobs, and W hand out plenty of freaking jobs?
They do, and this stuff's got to stop, because guess what? We're paying for it. These are not the most qualified or competent people.
Oh, yes, they are, because we elect the most qualified people that have been appointed for us.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I really want to know why Matt Heck isn't doing an investigation of all this and starting to
because he's in bed with everybody else.
Exactly.
Everybody knows everybody's dirty laundry.
So why isn't there someone running against Matt Heck? Why don't we have a prosecutor, somebody running for prosecutor?
Because they've got a lot of is he a Demi?
He's a Democrat.
Well, he probably gets a lot of patronage jobs too.
Oh,
and I've seen his little prosecutors out actually going door to door for him. I've called them out.
That's brilliant. But this whole system, there's like so much wrong with it, and we're just scratching the surface now because we're hurting for money. When the money was flowing, nobody cared.
It's like the Bernie Madoff. When the tide goes out, you can see who's not wearing friggin' underwear. You know what I mean?
That's the truth.
In this housing, debacle, these guys, look, what's his now? Or we're just scraping the iceberg. Maybe his sister has been identifying all kinds of great houses they've been sharking on. somewhere and taking them over. Who knows? Maybe that's why they're putting, he's trying to get pushed away.
Possible.
There could be thousands of reasons.
His buddy, who's the athletic director at CJ, there's no other way he was doing his job at CJ and doing all these appraisals and making $140,000 a year. This just stinks.
No, it totally stinks.
Okay,
totally.
But I think we're in the wrong business, Greg. I think we should go into banking.
The truth-telling
Borrow
business
money from the Fed at like 0.5%, charging interest rates, having the sheriff go and do your dirty work. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just like it's these guys have been printing money left and right. The Fed doesn't make all the money. It's the banks
Leave them
these
alone.
days.
They're allowed to make all that money.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard
they
of the
grease
free
the wheels of
market.
capitalism. Yes.
Yeah, Citibank made $3 billion or something. No, not Citibank. It was Chase Bank. $3 billion this quarter.
Yeah, it's
$3 billion. And somehow that made the market efficient.
And then you should be paying themselves big bonuses for making all that money.
Should.
While the rest of the economy is going down the toilet.
But Obama didn't come out. Carl George, the sellout.
Hasn't done
He's
a
a
thing.
sellout. He's hired Geithner. It's a total sellout. He's a puppet. He's a puppet.
I hate to say this, but Barack, if you're listening, you ain't doing the job for the people.
No. He was hired as a populist. Even I consider him somewhat of a populist. And he's a sellout to Wall Street. Yeah, you can't make it up.
It's time. These guys come down in their corporate jets and say, "Oh yes, I heard it on NPR this morning. Yes, we have more regulation than we did before. Oh no, we don't need any more. Oh, we're being very good citizens now."
Well,
yeah.
They are in a rock and a hard place because nobody else pays taxes anymore, even in New York, except for the extremely wealthy. But they want to put a tax on them, so it'll drive them over to where? Dubai. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's all of his space over there.
You know how quickly that rolls off his tongue.
Sheikh Mo.
Mr.
Anyway,
Horseowner.
yes.
Anyway, that's enough of this for today.
The sheriff will ride in and value your house.
I think it's time for the sheriff to take a ride out of town. What do you think, people?
No, the process to take a ride out of town. He's just a fixture in the process.